Okay. Good. So good afternoon. So we'll be continuing from where we stopped yesterday. Yesterday we talked about we talked about a lot of things. We talked about renaming worksheets. We talked about move and copy. We talked about data validation. We talked about text to column, copy and paste, and conditional formatting. So today, we've not talked about conditional formatting. So yeah, we'll be starting from conditional formatting. I guess by now all of us here should know everything here, right? So
For data validation, maybe I have to go and watch, but I didn't really get it yesterday.
data validation. Okay. I'll leave you to watch it the video because if I should explain, we have a long day to do today. But if you don't get it anyway after today, you can always come to my dream and ask any question. Is that fine by you? Okay, good. So today we'll be moving on. Then we start our the last one, which is the conditional formatting. Okay, from the word conditional formatting is more like from the name, conditional formatting from cells or a range of cells based on some condition. So we change the appearance, maybe the color, maybe the font, maybe the style of the cell based on the values inside them. So conditional formatting is something like I have a range of cells, right? I have different majorly, let me just say this. Majorly we apply conditional formatting in numerical data, right? So when you have a range of cells, maybe you have a set of students with different pocket money. So you want to classify them, who among them have the highest pocket money, who among them have the lowest pocket money. So conditional formatting is just like, okay, maybe if you have or if you receive more than 1,000 naira per day, then you'll be your the cells where your name is entered will be colored green. If you entered below 1,000 naira per day, then your cells will be colored red or something. So from formatting this type of cells, using some condition is just what we refer to as conditional formatting. Okay, launching my Excel sheet. So I'd like to try with this. So I'd like to try using this one. So under our home tab, I can see under my style section, I can see a section there. We have our conditional formatting. So basically, I told us the other time that we applied data analysis and we applied conditional formatting in numerical data. So let's look at something like this. Okay, before I use it, a whole data set, let me just have something like this. Okay, these are my students, right? Let's say these are Windows students I'm testing. Then I place them here, control V. So these are my students. Then um, we have the pocket money they receive. So this one, to make it look more professional, it is better we just have them look format these cells, right? So let me just format this. So okay, this is 4,000. Alright, 7,000. Um, 6,000. 7,000. So just forget currency. Okay. So now let's say these are set of students, right? I want to classify this set of students like this. If you earn above 5,000, if you earn above and below 5,000. So majorly I can't like see everybody. Let's say we are using a real data set, but I can't see everybody. I was like, okay, let's do something. There is how can I classify this people? I want to know where among my students received the most pocket money. So looking at this, I can guess it is people, right? So I can guess it is Supreme that received the lowest salary. But in a way, I want to use a data something. How can I apply conditional formatting to this? Okay, by just going under my own tab, I can see under the style section, I can see the conditional formatting here. Then I click the drop down here, right? So we have different type of options there we can use. But I will start from each option, then we apply everything, then we can actually see, okay, this is what this is the function of this particular function of this particular rule. So now, for me to apply any format on my cell, I will not click outside, right? I have to highlight the cells. So I will Excel will know, okay, this is where I should apply this conditional format. So that's why I'm highlighting this one. Assuming I'm highlighting this one, that means this conditional formatting to be applied to this particular column. But now today I want it on this particular column, particular range of cell, and that's why I'm clicking this conditional formatting drop down because I want to apply the conditional format into this range of cell. I click on the drop down, then I have this one. So I want greater than 5,000. So let's see if you are greater than if my money is if your pocket money is greater than 5,000, maybe it will be okay. Um, they said it should be filled with light red with dark red text. Anyway, you can always change this. Let's put it with green. Yeah. So we can see, I can see easily now that okay, Pitu and Agrokoyum they receive more than $5,000, while Ade, Olayanka, and Supreme do not receive. So we just a glance, we just a glance, I can just say, oh, these are the students that qualified this one. So we can actually use this kind of formatting. We can apply it in real life when you can apply it anytime, but let me just give some real life cases, especially when we are doing something like okay, like what I used yesterday. This particular data analysis class, it is either you pay in full or you pay in installment, right? Either you pay 10,000 in full or you pay 5,000 at least, right? So we already know that okay. For me, I can say I can actually have an automated something like this. Then I will have conditional format on myself. That means if assuming I have 5 students and I think I have 5 students, right? I have my conditional format and tell Excel to highlight people that have paid in full with green, with full with green, and people that have not paid in full with red. So usually I know who I will ask or I will expect money from by the end of the month. So that's especially how you use conditional format. You use it when you are doing loan data set, you use it when you want to classify. I mean, let's use some use case so we can actually see how much Excel can be used. So now I want to clear this one off. I like the cells again. Now, conditional format, we can actually use everything here. We can use a lot of stuff here. And I can actually go to if my pocket money is less than, let's say, 5,000. Now, I want it light red and dark red text. Now with this, look how this particular data set looks. It looks so professional because it's just simple glance. I can know okay, Tito and Abdulkarim they're like okay, they are free at least for now, and Ade, Olayinka and Supreme they are not free. Okay, I'm expecting Ade to be to be paying me by the end of the month. So let's imagine we change Ade to 7,000. Then it changed suddenly to what? It changed suddenly to green. That means this thing is automated, right? It's not static. It is automated. If Abdulkarim later we found out that Amchitu wasn't paid for 7,000, but he was actually paid let's say 4,000. Now notice something. It this cell, particular cell is in green. So now once I change it to 4,000, it changes to red. That means this particular range of cell has been what do you call it? Has been conditional formatted that whenever we entered a particular number, then a cell can easily classify them into different groups. And that's the use case of conditional formatting. Then let's have another one. Um, so let's go to the real data set. So I would like to use some numbers now. So now I want to use country rank. Mm-hmm. Now let's see video views rank. Yeah, let's do this one. I'm highlighting this particular column because I want to apply this conditional format on this column. Assuming I want to apply it on all these columns, I can as well just click my control key, my hold down my shift control key and my shift key, then press the side arrow facing the right. So if I should do that means I'm applying the conditional format to all the numerical data. But for now, I only want this particular cell, particular column, sorry. So that's why I'm clicking this conditional format. Then I want top and bottom row. Please can you still see my thing? Okay. Okay. When we have this top and bottom row, then I can see, okay, I want top 10 items. Now, easily, I actually don't because I don't have this thing arranged in alphabetical order or from highest to the lowest in ascending order or descending order. But I can actually see my top 10 highest by just taking using conditional formats. Then my top 10, I don't want light red because that does not make sense. I want them in green. And so, yeah, something like this. So now, by just, okay, sorry for that. By just scrolling down this Excel, I can actually see, okay, this particular guy, okay, this Molinina will be among my top 10 views. Now with just easy, I can actually see those that have they have the highest video views rank. Right. So and that's how exactly we use conditional format. Now for my country rank, let's do another style. We have different style though. We have bottom 10 items, we have bottom 10%. It just depends on exactly what you are supposed to use. Now let's see something more interesting. Now let's go to let's check this. Now let's check this. Highest let's check highest yearly earning. Now I want to use data bars. I want to apply this conditional format on this particular column. But exactly what do I want to use? I want to use data bars. From the word data bars, it means that there will be a bar column, a bar chart inside the text. So how do you apply a bar chart inside the text? Now let me just let's apply it. Let's see how it looks like. Now data bars now. I can when I click on data bars, right, it gives me a range of option I want. I will just want it in green. So I just so now what does this mean? Now this classifier like okay, let me do something so we can actually see something. Data. I want to start this thing. Okay, okay. Okay now. This is the data bars now. See, it's classified it from the highest to the lowest, right? They classify it from the highest to the lowest. That means I can see this particular guy on the first row has the most yearly earnings. Why? Then we have with just these bars now, I can actually say, okay, um, people that have little to no bars are earning so less, but people that have almost uh half of the column per I can't say this is half of the column. But at least, these people I see are earning higher because a lot of people did not have anything in their bars. But you can actually see something like this. You already know by just seeing something like this. It makes you professional. You already know you can do. Oh, this guy is earning so high. You understand? By just doing something like this, and then you can actually apply on the same column. You can actually apply the bottom 10 earners too. So let's see bottom 10 items. So yeah, I want them with light red and food red stuff. So let's go. So we can see people that are not earning anything, and that's why they are in red. So when you can just apply conditional format, it makes your work look professional. It makes you get an insight easily. You already know that okay, this particular guy, let's get me. This YouTuber, Team Pro. Then we have oh, Mr. Beast is here. Look, let me create Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast. Because it is actually a real data set, by 2023, Mr. Beast is earning, okay, he's earning $54 million. Yes, on YouTube. $54.7 million on YouTube. But there was a time, oh my goodness, his lowest yearly earning is $4 million. No, not bad. So we have 64, but we have some people doing better than me. At least, I guess the last one I actually worked on, I think Mr. Beast is earning the largest now after YouTube though. Yeah, after YouTube movies, I guess he's the one. I don't know. Okay, that's not the discussion for today. But we have highest yearly earnings. We have this is how to easily know. Okay, this is how to apply data conditional format. Then you can as well explore some other conditional formats like color scale. Now, from the word color scale, it just like it gives you it gives you something like okay, um, if you are in the higher category, you will be green. If you are in the middle category, you will be maybe brown or something. Then if you are the lower category, it gives you red. Now this is just like very easy. Like let me just let's choose something like this one because I can see green red. So now this one, what does it mean exactly? I can see I have some greens, I have some yellows. Oh, is that yellow or cream? I don't know. I have some cream and I have some red. So actually, if you want to know what exactly they mean, right, you can actually go to the color scale, then go to the marbles. Now we have the marbles. Now we have the two color scale. Now we are dealing with three color scales, right? So we have highest value, which is green, then the midpoint, which is the yellow, and the minimum, which is the red. That means when we have something like red, that means this Excel has actually formatted the stuff in to be among the lowest earning. But actually, you can actually correct the value. Yes, you can actually correct the value by by typing. Yes, there's a way you can type here. Okay, okay, you have to go to this formula. You have to go here. Like this one. Then you type in formula, but I'm not interested in that one. So, so let's just use this one. You can actually change the color if you want. If you want the highest earning to be somewhere around this green, then the middle earning to be something like this, and something like this. I think this one looks better. I don't know. I think that's a bad decision. Yeah, I mean, you can always just go maneuver your way towards it and find the best decision for yourself, and that's exactly what conditional formatting does. So now we still have another one. We have icon set. Oh, okay. I think we use a lot of this one. So rank, I saw something like rank the other time. So now rank. I want to apply my conditional format, which is the icon set. Now we've seen this icon. Now easily from looking at something like this, I can see when something shows like it means that oh this thing is already down. It's facing downward means the country is like what do you call it? It's sinking. right? It's thinking. But we can see people with something around this side. You already know that. Okay, okay, the country is doing well, right? Then we have green. That means okay, this country is actually doing okay. But in a way, I feel like Excel got it wrong because if you are number one, you're actually supposed to be the best. So now let's how do we correct that? So we go to more ways. So we can see when value you actually show green. We have different type of anyway. When you click more rules, you can actually maneuver the rules. Like we have different type of color. Why what I want to use currently is the arrows, which is this one. I want to use these arrows. Then the upward arrow I want to use when the value is I guess one yeah. Then this one you can actually type future. I want my because we are working in percentage, so the first 15% to show in tone, then the last, the middle, maybe the next 45%. No, one or more icon overlap. Okay, what's overlapping there? Oh, okay. Ah, I don't know this. I don't know that what's going on. My value is 14, greater than or equal to 14. No, let's try. Okay. Mm, okay. I feel like I'm able to maneuver my everything is in. Oh my god. Okay. There is a problem here, and I would like to solve it to solve. Okay. Sorry, let me figure out something out. I can say, okay, I want to know the second of star, icon star, and I don't want this icon. So I want to, then we have when value is greater than or equals to 67%. No, I don't want 67%. When if you show me like okay, when value is greater than 67%, maybe when it is lesser than 67, and it is swimming zone when it is less than 63. I guess it's better. What's the apply to them? Let me do a control there. Okay. Let's do the teaching. Conditional format. Teaching. Then I go to more rules. Right. So I actually just want to change the rules. So I want my green color. Now it is given that it is still green when the value is greater than 67%. But now I want it in red, right? And this one is in red. But this one I want it in green. So okay. Now yeah, I've corrected the mistake. Now I can see country rank within from one to the 33%. Now I can see I'm not having only all greens. Okay, no problem. Now I've corrected the mistake. What I actually did was I don't know if you actually understand it. Why I changed. Do you understand why I just did or actually explain? Please can you hear me? Okay. Please, do you have any question or I should explain everything?
Please explain, sir.
Okay. Now, I want to apply what do you call it, icon on this particular country rank. Now, if they rank your country number one, that means your country is among the best, right? If they rank your country among maybe number 10, at least your country is still among the top 10 best country in the world, right? That means your country, sorry, your country is doing better, right? So now when I apply a conditional format, then icon set, then I apply this particular one. But I can see the country applied as one. Excel is giving me down arrow because it is one. Excel is using the numbers, it's classifying this particular country rank from the highest to the lowest, right? And that's not actually what I want. I want my number one to be in green. That means the country is progressing, right? And I want something like, let's check the one in, yes, I want something like this type, number 7741. If they can rank your country number 7,741, that means your country is doing so, I don't know, so woefully. So you understand? So now Excel is getting all these functions wrong, but I actually want to actually customize the rule. Then I will click on this column header, go to my conditional format, go to this same icon set, then I'll go to my more rules. Now I had a problem the other time because I was trying to figure out the particular function or the particular rules I'm setting, but in a way I got it wrong. But actually, I figured it out. Now, why do I change this one? Now, I don't want the icon to be in circle, but I want it to in this arrow. So I want to change this icon style, and that's why I'm clicking something like this. I love this, right? I love this. Then now I want the down first arrow. I want the green arrow when they said this green arrow will show when the value is greater than 67%, right? So I actually do not want if it is greater than 67%, that means 67 to 100%. That means the country is already doing bad. You know understand? When you say something is doing bad, that means they are ranking your country maybe number 777. That means you have a higher percentage in the cumulative frequency of all the columns, right? And actually, I don't want green to be showing there. I want red arrow there. And when we have less than 33%, I want green to show there. And this is exactly what I want. Now I've changed the rule. I've changed the the default rule into a customized rule, into something that, okay, this is actually how I want my Excel column, right? And I just click OK. Now I can see when you are one, when you are still ranked for one, two, in as much your country is ranked among the first 33%, it will show green arrow. But once your country is like ranking maybe 377, that means your country is between 33% to 67%. But once it is now like I'm above 57%, that's why I can see red here, right? I can see green here because it is among this country is among the first 33%. You understand? And that's exactly what I did. Now, do you understand now? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Thank you. So basically, that's how to apply conditional format, and you can always go to the stuff and change our something like this. Now, if I want to apply data bar to something like this, I can always go here. Maybe I don't like any of the color here. I can go to more rules. Now, instead of data bar, I can actually change it to anything. So icon to have. I think I've showed you two color scale, three color scale. Data bar, you have icon already. So maybe I want my what I want. Maybe data bar, right? Now I don't want to show the figure, so I want to show only the bar. Then what else? What color do I want? Maybe I want let us put it in I mean, we have more. I can go more colors and choose a particular color, maybe this one. Then no border. I don't want any border. So good. Now I can see there is no numbers here now. So it has replaced them with only data bars now. By just ranking this country, by just rearranging this country. Now going to my data tab, going to my something like this, then I can see where is it? Okay. Now why is it not applying? Why is the data bars not applying to NAN? As I said earlier, that conditional formatting is only applied to to af- to numeric data text. Now this particular column is text data type, right? And that's why data formatting, conditional formatting is not applying to something like this. But once it is numbers, because this used to be numbers, right? So and that's why we have we have conditional formatting, we have the data bars applied to this particular column. And maybe that's all about conditional format. You just have to whenever you need something you can just go over everything. If it is greater than, if it is less than, if it is equal to, if it is top or bottom, if it is data bars. Actually this makes your work look so professional if you actually know your way. And if Excel is getting you wrong, you can always go to more rules now, clear all the rules. Now, if I want to know, okay, I'm done with everything. I want to clear all the conditional formats, then you can always clear all the rules from selected. So, okay, I'm supposed to, I'm supposed to say, now, clear rules from entire sheet. Maybe I don't want it anymore. From the entire sheet, that means from the entire worksheet here. But I only want to clear the rules from this entire particular column. So I just clear rules from selected cells. Now I can see my data set is back. So basically that's how to apply and de-apply conditional formatting. I just don't understand the part. Yeah, do you understand before I move on to the next work? If you have any question, yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, so let's move to the next work. Thank you, guys. So today we'll be actually going to one of the most interesting parts of data cleaning. That's formula and function. Maybe some people call it statistics, some people call it data cleaning, but it's one of the major part of Excel or of data analysis. So we have formula, we have function. Both of them look similar, but they are not actually the same thing, right? So we have what exactly is formula? Now formula or function, both of them actually start with an equals to, right? So you actually know that whenever you want to write any formula or you want to write a function, so you should know that you always incorporate equals to before you start writing the formula. So now Excel, a formula is something starting with an equals to. Okay, agreed. Maybe now it may be made up of functions, cell references, or operators. Now what do we mean by this? Now let's go to an Excel spread. Let's go to sheet one. So I just want to clear. Okay, now can someone just tell me how do I clear this conditional format from this particular range of cells? So can someone just unmute and answer this question? I want to clear conditional format. I can see conditional format on this window. So I actually want to clear it. I don't want this conditional format on this cell anymore. What do I do? I'll call
Hello,
myself.
I
Hello.
can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so you are going to click on the particular rows we want to clear the
Okay.
conditional formatting.
Okay.
Then we go to our data bar, go to conditional formatting.
Okay.
So you can see declare the rules inside. So you have to go to declare rules. Yes,
Okay. Then click what?
declare rules for selected cells.
Okay. 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 Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Okay. Now let's say how do we apply? function as I was saying the other time. So we start with an equal to obviously. That means I want to do something like as simple as 2 plus now it's giving me 4. Now that's a formula. Maybe 4 sorry 4 plus 4 that's sorry. Oh okay. Why is it not giving me an answer? Because I did not start with an equal to. So let me just start with an equal to. Then I have my 8. So equals to then I have 4 um, 4 times 4. Then I have 16. You understand? So I can actually do a lot of stuff. Or I can actually do something like this. Equals to. Now I want this 7,000. Now I want to reference this 7,000. Now how do I reference this 7,000? This 7,000 is located in what cell? Under column D, row what? 1, 2, 3, 4. That means this 7,000 it is under column D, row 4, right? That means D4, right? Plus maybe I want 4,000, which is D5 plus now I'm referencing it right plus 6,000 maybe plus right plus 2,000 now plus the last one which is column D row 8 plus this one then by just pressing enter I have the whole summation. Now this one is easier, right? And it is automated. That is, if I actually change something here, maybe I know I actually made a mistake. Ade is now collecting is not receiving 7,000, but is actually receiving 8,000. And you can see these changes. Now if you now catch that, this 20,100. Now let's take this people are going to 5,000. That means I'm expecting this one to change to 21, right? So by just updating this particular cell, now I can see this thing it has changes. It changes. That means Excel has automated this particular function by just giving a formula, and that's what exactly we call formula. Formula is involve the use of maybe the all the arithmetic operators, which are the plus, uh, the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, raised to power, which look like what do you call it? This raised to power, where is it from my keyboard? Okay, this one. This raised to power, this particular sign, that's what we call raised to power. Then all the arithmetic operators, when you use something like that, that's when we say that's the formula. But what exactly is now function? Now function is something like we've said something like this in our first class. Function is something like a pre-recorded formula in Excel. It is already pre-recorded. That means whenever I call it, right, it is already pre-recorded. The function is already defined in it. Now I want to sum all this particular range of cells, right? So I know what I want to do is summation, right? So by just clicking SUM, I can see a lot of, no, by just clicking S, I can see series of functions here. Now I can see series of functions, but what exactly I need is SUM, which is the sum, because I want to sum all this particular pocket money. So now I can see my cursor is already on sum. So by just clicking my tab key, right, tab key, it will open a bracket for me. Let me do that again. By just clicking, maybe now you can see my cursor is not on the sum. Now I can just use my downward arrow, then click on the tab key. So it will complete the stuff for me and it will open a bracket for me. Now it is asking for number one, number two. Now in Excel, as a data analyst, what do you call this thing? This particular number one, number two, we call it argument. That means Excel is asking for every function you enter an argument. What are the arguments here? You can see we have number one, then we have number two. That means the number you want to actually sum all together. Now, what else do you notice? Now let's number one. What's my number one? This 8,000 again, which is in column D4. Then the next thing, using this syntax, I can see I have comma next to after number one, I will add comma, right? So then Excel is asking for number two. Okay, This is number two. And as I see from this syntax, we had Excel added a comma. So I will add another comma, then apicoyon, then I had another comma. This one, I had another comma. This one, I had another. Okay, because this is the last one, then I can just close my brackets and press enter. You can see this one and this particular function, they are the same, right? But in a way, this looks more professional to do in a way. I don't know why, but I feel like this look more professional. Now let me just write total. Now let me open the bracket. This is okay. Formula. Okay. So now let's do on that type. Okay. How can we make even this better? Now imagine you remember when I want to actually do the summation of this 2100, 2100, 21,100. I actually call my sum function. Now let's call it again. SU. Now, how do I get the sum? Because I've typed SU and I can actually see my sum. So by just clicking my down arrow, I can navigate towards my sum. Then you can see that what I have wrote is SU. By just clicking my tab key, Excel will complete it and open a bracket. Now Excel is asking for number one, number two. Now before I complete it, I want to show us something. Now it Excel should, by just putting my cursor over it, Excel takes add all number in a range of cell. Now what does that mean? That means that I can add all number in range of cell by just clicking my tab key. Now these are the range of cells I want from this particular cell, and then I will click my left click and drag it down. Right, this is the range of cells, right? That means from D4 to D8, add everything, add all the numbers from D4 to D8, and I will close the bracket and I click enter. Oh, sorry, because I added this one by mistake. It throws an error message by just clicking this one. I mean, this one looks faster, easier by just clicking D4 column D8. That means Excel already understand that, okay, this range of cell, we are adding it, we are doing the summation of this range of cell, and we just took click, right? Let me do that again. SUN, click the tab key. Now it is asking for a range of cell. Then I drag down, close my brackets, boom. Instead of typing it 8,000 plus 5,000, or instead of doing D4 plus D5, comma D5, comma D6. Now that one can be exhausting, but something like D4 to D8, column D8, that's very easy. Especially when you are working with data set like maybe 2,000 data sets, 2,000 data rows, maybe maybe 10,000 data rows. It will be exhausting typing them one by one or typing them and adding comma one by one. So by just clicking on the range of cells, you can actually apply data analysis function. And that's why data function, Excel function is actually more preferred than formula, because formula, imagine typing D4, D5, D6 up till, and you are working with maybe 50,000, 100,000 data rows. You would, that would be the only thing you will achieve that day. You understand? But by just clicking SQN, click all the range of cell, within just 5 seconds you are done. You've gotten your answer. And that's why as a data analyst you have to know a lot of functions, and that's exactly what we are doing today. I guess you all understand that part before we move on. Do we? Okay. Now, I did not hard code anything. Everything is dynamic. Now, let's say we change the stuff to 2000. You can see even from the formula it changes, from the function it changes, everything changes. Like actually everything will actually give us the right score. It is automated, it is dynamic, it is not hard coded, right? But in a way, this one is just the function, the one with comma, is just exhausting, while this one is more exhausting. But this one is just a little faster and looks more professional. And that's exactly what I'm enjoying everyone to incorporate into their life, like using Excel function. Now we have different type of Excel function. Now let's before I move on, see on the submission, we can see we have under our home tab, we have different data tab here, but we can see something specifically for formula, right? If I click on this formula, now let's say I want my total here. No. Yeah, I want my total here. Now I have different type of formula here. I have auto sum, I have frequently used, I have financial formulas, I have logical formulas, which are and first if error. Then we have text formula, we have date and time formula, we have lookup reference, then we have math and read, we have more functions. Now you not expect we should treat all these formula during today's class because you only have 1 hour left, right? And you can actually get a lot of this, especially depending on when you are where you are actually working, and maybe you just need it for a while. You don't need everything, you understand? So you just need like most common one. So in this particular data analysis masterclass, we'll be teaching the most common one, the one we use the most. We apply the most to data analysis, the basic data analysis. So it depends on the data analysis field you're actually working on, then you actually incorporate this this functions more. Like financial now. I don't think I know a lot here. I don't think I know a lot of function here. But if you are studying, maybe you are studying accounting, I expect you to know something like this because yeah, that's what you are studying. Even if you are actually doing business education or whatever, it will look simple for you because you've been working with all these formula before, right? But this look like German to me. But in a way, there is a way to go about it. Even though I've worked as a financial analyst before, I've never used any of these formulas before. There's a way to go about it, and yeah, we see. I will still spill this thing one day, but no, no. So now let's use AutoSum because we are still AutoSum. Now by just clicking by just clicking our AutoSum, I want to sum, enter. Can you see? In just one click, I've gotten all my pocket money from the summation of all my pocket money. So let me do that again. I've not clicked any equals to, right? I just click on the cell I want my pocket money, then click on auto sum, then I click on enter. Can you see? It is the same thing with everything here. That means with just a single click, I can actually get my auto sum. That's even more faster than typing sum. You understand? So you can actually use auto sum too. Now let's say we want to get the average. Now to get the average, there is a formula for average, and there is a function for average, sorry. So to start any function, we already know that we are starting with an equal to, right? Then we type in average. Now I can see it returns the average of its argument, which can be number, names, arrays, references that contain number. Now we have numbers, the names. Arrays means range of cells. So I want to do a range of cells now because that's a little easier for me. So I just click on this one, right? And I'll close my brackets, enter. I can see the average is what? Um 3620. Now what is the difference between function and formula? Now means average means the number of this particular number over the number of people here, right? Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means the summation of this number divided by 5 should give us our average, right? That means I can just say something like this. What do you call it? Equals to maybe from. Actually, I'm not supposed to use sum, but it's still the same thing. No? So sum over 5. Now this is a formula, right? So we have three systems, you get the same number. Now, but What if we found out that Supreme does not actually have a number, then I delete it. Now you can see this one updates to 45, while this one remain the same. And that's exactly why we don't use formula. Because by just add coding, this one is still dividing by 5. Why this is not dividing by 5 anymore, but it's now dividing by 4. Because this one updates real time with the formula, why formula does not actually update in real time. So it is just better use a function better, which is prefer using a formula. Now you can see this one still remain number 5 instead of which we change to 4. Now if I change it to 4, now it's the number is correct. But what if I keep changing it? What if I keep making corrections? Maybe I delete this one now. Now this one has updated. Now this one is saying 4,000. So until I change this one to divided by 3. Now we have the same number of stuff here. So we have 5 3 3 3. So that's the difference between function and formulas. Formulas did not update in time, while functions they update with any correction you are making, right? So it is better use function. Now that's for the average. Actually, you can also get our average using AutoSum by just clicking the drop down and just clicking the average. Now click your enter. Oh, okay. Now it did a mistake. Now I think it's sum all this file. Now let me check it. This 10 should be 11. Where is it 10? Okay, the average of these two. Oh no. It is supposed to be the average of this. Okay. So that's where okay, there's a mistake. That's supposed to be default to be default. Yeah. Yeah. So we have 5 to. So in a way, it is better you just write your function instead of using this auto sum. I mean, it's faster. It gives you the same answer and it's updated real time. So it just depends on how comfortable you are with it. So I can actually use my count number to add a count number by just by just typing my count. Because Excel is so easy. Because whenever you want to do something, I want to count, right? So I can still count the number on in a of cell. But if I still count A, now I said count the number of cells in a range that are not empty. But this one is counting everything, while this one is counting the number of cells that are not empty. Now, this count, we actually use count for numerical data type, while we use count A for text data type. Now, I will use it for now. Let's hit count. I want to count my money, right? So I can see 3, right? Now, let's say I want to count using the same formula too. Using the same formula equals to count A. No, let me just use count or no, the same count. Sorry. So let's count this number of students too. Then close the bracket and why is it giving me 0? Even though I can see I have 5 students, right? So that means you don't use count for for what do you call it, text data type, but we only use count A for text data type. Now if I change it to count A and I hit my enter key, I can see it changes to 5. That means count is only for numerical data type, while count A is only for text data type. Please do you understand that one before we move on? I don't think I have enough response today. What's happening? Do you understand? Please, you are free to speak up.
Hello, can you please explain the count A again?
Okay, good. Please, let's
The
speak
count
up whenever we don't understand anything.
we have.
Okay. Now, to
Yeah.
count, we have 2 different type of counts, right? We have, and before we go to count, we have 2 different type of data type. We have numerical data type, which is any number ranging from 0 to 9, and we have any text data type, which is the alphabet, alphanumeric, and the special characters like star, asterisk. divide sign, all those special characters, question mark. So we only use this particular number, this count, for numerical data sets. Now, what are the numerical data sets? You can see 8,000, 6,000, 2,000. They are numerical, right? So I can actually apply my count, count, count formula on only this stuff. Now, by just clicking on this one, I can see visually that I have three numbers there. By just and closing my bracket, I'm expecting this one to return 3, and clicking my enter key, I get 3. Now, using the same formula for for text data type, which is this range, right? I can see visually that Ade, Shitu, Adekorin, Olayinka, and Supreme, that those are 5 students, right? But I'm expecting if I should close my bracket and I should press an enter key, I'm expecting this number, this formula to return 5. But once I press my enter key, I can see it is returning 0. So that means count is not used for what do you call it? Not used for text data type because Ade, Titu, Abdulkarim, Olayinka, and Supreme, they are text data type because they are alphabet, right? And that's why we classify them as a text data type. But once I change it to equals to count A, click my tab key and select the range of the cell I want to count. Now I'm expecting 5. Close my parentheses, click enter, then I have the 5. Now that means what this one means that we only use count A for text data type, while we use count, ordinary count, for numerical data type. Now, do you understand? Very good. Please, Mr. Akin, please, do you understand now? Okay, I guess it's not with us anymore. So, we have different type of formula. We have max and min. Now, looking at this formula, let me fill this up. Let me just write random number 3,000, then maybe 100. Yeah. So, let's use max now. We have max. No. From the word max, it means maximum now. So we can visually see that okay, the guy receiving the most pocket money is Ade, which is $6,000, right? Why the guy receiving the lowest amount of money is 15? But imagine you have something like 12,000 data sets. You can't possibly say this is the guy receiving the highest amount of money, right? So in that case, you have to use a formula to actually return who exactly is receiving the highest number of pocket money. Oh, Kaula, you have a question? I can see around here that yeah, you can talk. Yeah, you can talk now.
So that was a mistake.
Okay. So now to return a maximum number here, I just write my max. It just is very simple because you already know that okay, I want to find the maximum number, then just write your max, click your tab key, now it open a parenthesis for you. Now you don't actually need to click your tab key if you can actually you can actually type your parenthesis by yourself. But in this case, I just feel like it is easier by just pressing your tab key than pressing your open bracket. So now it is expecting number one, number two, but it is actually you can actually supply it with a range of cell. That means supply me with the maximum number of income or pocket money within this range of cell. Close your bracket and click enter key. Now it's returned 8,000. Now, but once I change this range of cell to I can see this D12 now. This 3820 is 312. Now if these are pocket money, right? So if I should change this one to HP12, so that means it has picked all this range of cell. Can we see? When I change it to this 12. Now I'm expecting the maximum number of pocket money to be 19,100. Now once I click my enter key, it changes to 19,100. Now that is the importance of Excel. That means even if you have like 2,000 rows, 10,000 rows, 100,000 rows, it will still be the same thing. Now let's check for our minimum. Now before even without telling anyone, what do you think our minimum function will be? Who can just guess? What will
Minimum
be our
count.
so what am I supposed to write here? No, just guess. That's how I'm guessing.
MIN.
Okay, MIN. Now I can see MIN. Now even if I don't know what MIN does, but I can
Values.
see
Which one is the smallest number in a set of values?
yes,
No.
returns the smallest number of ignores vertical values and text. Thank you. Now I can see okay, this particular function actually returns the smallest number. Now I can take my tab key, I can open the parentheses by myself, but in a way I prefer pressing my tab key and then the parentheses as opened. Now I can just apply it to the range of cell, right? Okay. Now who can tell me what exactly is the number I'm expecting? What do you think will be the answer? Oh my God.
Sir.
100.
Who is talking now? Sorry. What do you expect our number to be? Answer to me. Right?
100 naira.
Okay, $100. Thank you.
100 naira.
Okay, good. So we have I guess with everything we've done now, we are still on the same page, right? Are we still on the same page? So move on. Okay, good. Good. Thank you. So now let's go to the next one. So I think I've differentiated between formula and function. Now let me just say a lot about function. So it is actually by using this type of, because we said it, sum, we said if, then, okay. Now have different type of Excel common Excel function. We said something about the sum, we said something about the average, we said something about the count. Now we have different type of this one, which I'll be uploading to the drive later today, right? So we have average. So we've done count. We actually did count, and we have also did count A. So now let's go to if. No, not if, not now. Now let's go to what exactly should I go to?
So I have a question.
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's the difference between count and counting?
Okay. I just can someone answer me? What's the difference between count and count here? I just want to. If you don't get it, it's fine. I just want to know if we actually um if you actually know it. Okay. Someone is raising up a hand, I guess. Now you
Okay,
can you
count
can
A is used to count like letters. Why count? Normal count is used to count numbers.
okay. That's correct. Mr. Kinsewa, you are raising up your hand. Do you have a question also?
No, no, no. I wanted to respond to that question you asked, but
Okay, okay. So count. Now let me do it one more time. Time is fasting, so that will be the last time for today. Count is only it only counts the number, which is for the numerical text, right? So when I count is only used for this particular type of data type, which is numerical, and that's how I'm getting 5 here. But once I use count three, that means I want to count something like text data type, and that's why I'm counting this one, right? And that's why it's returning 5. If you don't understand, you can actually go back to the recording so you can move
I
on.
didn't say counter. I said count if.
Count is
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
oh okay. Those we still use them in subsequent class. Count is that means count if that means we are actually specifying a condition. That means if you only count, let's say we have 5 students now. We are 14 on this call. Now I want to count if we are count only the people, count only the students. Now because everyone here we are 14, now that means we have 13 students and one tutor. That means if I should say count if, then I'll specify if only we are a student. That means the answer I will be expecting will be 13, right? But if I should count if only you are a tutor. That means I'm expecting one. So it's just like logical option. So now let's just go to this. I think I love that question. Okay, let's do something like this. So yesterday we did this, like we calculated eight. I guess we are all in class yesterday. Now by just clicking the drop down, I can see that we have 17. The age starts from 17 years old to 81. So now I want to classify them into different age groups. Now you can see between when if you are between 10 to 30, I guess that should be. Now when I wrote 10 to 30, it changes to what 30 October. That means this cell already has been formatted. Maybe I've worked on this cell, then I just want to change it to okay, this one now. Okay. Let me just design down. Maybe we are 10 within 10 to 30. Maybe it should be what do I call it? What do I call it then? 10 to 30 should be adults. Are they adults? Maybe. Okay, maybe 30 to 15. We call them. Maybe you can just name this one now. Young adults. Now 30 to 50, maybe I call them adults now. Then 50 to 18. 50 to 18. Maybe I call them elder. Okay. Now let's say I want to classify this particular employee. Right? I want to classify them into are you a young adult? Are you an adult or are you an elder? Now I can actually use that one by using logical function. Logical function means that okay, if this thing is true, by using something like if, like I said, if you are within this range of cell, maybe if you are within this range of number, then it will return this. If you are within this range of number, return this. That means if you are within 10 to 30 years, return young adults. If you are within 30 to 50 years, return adults. Now let's do something like that. Now the first thing I will write is equals to, right? You all know that. Then I'm starting with my if, right? Now looking at this if, it check whether a condition is met. So I'm just taking my if. Now I said what is the logical function? Now the logical function is I want to reference this eight column. If it is less than what? Less than 30. That means any number that is less than 30, right? Then I can see comma, which is the logical. That means I'm done with my logical test. Then after this logical test, I can see comma. So the next thing is value if true. Now value if true. What do I want to return if this condition is actually met? I want to return what young adult. Now, will I write young adult? No, I will not write young adult explicitly. Why? Because young adult is a text data type, so I have to put it in double quotation mark. So I have to write young adult. So just bear with me. So so if you have a question, you can just now that means value is true. If this condition is met, value is true to the young adult. Then the next thing after this value is true is comma. So I had a comma. Then value is if false. Maybe don't return anything because this one is in what do you call it, square bracket. you actually don't need to return it, right? You don't actually need to enter it. But in this case, let me just put none. And because it's text value, it's a text data set, let me just put none. Then close my brackets. Oh, there's a mistake. If AB20 younger than none, that's correct. So I can see now it's giving me it's returning none, right? It is returning none. Why is it returning none? Because young adults, this 50 is not falling into this young adult, is not falling into this condition. But once I drag this one down, so I'm expecting 27 and 30 to actually give me, that means this one they actually fall into the category of young adult. Now, what if I want everything? I can just double click on this one. Now I can see it has applied to every data set here. That's 3,000. With just a single click, I can see, okay, this particular guy is a young adult, this guy is none. So why do I even use none? Now I can actually correct this one. Please, do you understand what I just did before I move on? Or should I explain? Okay, I guess you understand. Okay, you can say something.
Yeah, sorry. This norm, from the formula, you said if it's the range from 50 to 80, it should bring elder, right?
Yeah.
But it brings none. So I don't know.
Now we have different type of fish. Thank you for asking. But that's actually where I'm going to now. We have different type of fish. We have fish and we have fish. Now this if is just for only one condition. Now because this particular question, okay, I will explain. Thank you. Abida, I will explain. Now please just follow me. My battery is almost going down. That's on. So, we have if, different type of if, and we have if and ifs. Now, this if, it is only for a condition, you understand? But ifs is for different type of if, for maybe different type of condition. Maybe if you fall between 10 to 30, you should return young adult. If you fall between 30 to 50, you should return adult. If you fall between 50 to 80, you should return elder. That's like three conditions joined together, right? So that in that case, we'll be using if because that's three different conditions. But if you are using if, they are just like only one condition. That should be okay if you are within 10 to 13, return young adults. So in a way, if you want to redo this one, so you get another if function. If you are within 10, 30 to 50, return adults. If you are within 50 to 80, return elder. Now let's do this if again. This if formula. Now I can just write if. Now I already understand that if we give me it is only for one condition, right? So it's Excel is asking for logical test, and I want this age. If this age is less than what? Less than 13. Yeah, less than 13. Is it 13? Yeah, 13. Then it said value if true. Then I want young adult. But I cannot write young adult like this because it is a text data set. If it is a numerical data set, I can just write, if it is just 20, maybe give me 24 if it is young adult. But because it is not a numerical data type, it is text data type. I have to put it in quotation, double quotation, and that's why I'm writing young adult in quotation mark. Close your quotation. That means I'm done with value is true, then I will add a comma, then value is false. Now if it is false, just type return false, then close the quotation mark, close the bracket, hit enter. Now it is returning false, but I want to apply this particular function into all the data sets. Just click on this double um when you see, the arrow, my cursor is like a cross now. But once I put it on this box here inside the cell, it will change to a plus sign. Just double click. If you apply the function into all the data set now. Now I can see that if I actually scroll down, the function has been applied to every data set, every data rows. Now I can see 27 is returning young adult, 23 is returning young adult, 29 is returning young adult, which is actually correct. Now to use it, I just click IFF. Now I already know that okay, this one is not it is not returning only one logic. Now I can return different. I can enter different type of logic. What is the first logic? What's the first logic? If this particular age it is less than 30, right? Now I can see after logic text one, the next thing is comma. Value if true is young adult, return young adult. Then what's the next thing? I'm done with that one. Write a comma. Now it's asking me for logical text two. Now, I want to say if this particular age again, because it is logical test, I want to say if this particular cell it is less than, because I've specified 30 now, and it is returning young adult. Now, if it's now less than 15, return, because I'm done with my logical test two now, I will add a comma. Now it changes to value is true, return, what is that? What is that? Okay, return adult, right? Comma. Now, if you give me logical text 3, this same age again, I'll click it, then I'll click on if it is less than 80 now, right? Return elder, then value if okay, it's asking for logical text 4, but I don't have logical text 4, so I'll just remove my column, then I will just close my bracket here, then enter. Now I can see this one is adult, but if I apply this function into this cell, then I can see everything is okay now. Like everything is okay now. Do you understand? Oh good. Do you understand? Wait, only one person is replying. What about the rest? Okay. So that's how to use what do you call it? This function. So let's see. We can't actually do everything. Can is first thing. So we've done if. So actually this this one is not actually used every day, so I'll skip it. But we can have actually wrote the notes, or you can actually go through it. Then you have today and now. It's not in a way we don't actually use all this function in daily basis. But let me just show you what they do. Maybe that one is better. Now if I call today equals to today, then open bracket, close the bracket. Now, can I say that means today is 17/5/2025. That means if you call today, if you actually call the function today, it will return today's date. So in some cases, you can actually return. Now, imagine this is how to use it. Let's see, like the task that I was working with. Now, um, now, how do you get it? Where is this thing? Now, date of birth. Now, this date of birth. Now, imagine they give me the date of birth, right? And I want to get their age, call their today's age, my employee today's age, right? So maybe I'll just digress a little bit. Maybe that will be better. Let me just hide this particular file. So I want to get today's their age, the particular employee's age as of today. So I'll just write a cell today like this today. So maybe I'll just call the function like this today, right? Click on the tab key. Now I'm expecting I'm expecting this one to be today's date. Then I will apply it here. That means it is applying today's date to everything. Now what do I want to use this stuff for? Now this is date of birth, this is today's date. To get their age, that means I'll subtract today's date from date of birth to get their real age, right? So I'll just do something like this equals to this one minus, right? This one minus, where's the date of birth? This one minus this one, right? Then if I decrease this one, I can see 20,000 is returning 20,311. That means this person has used 20,311 days. But I'm not interested in the number of days. I'm interested in the number of years. So I'll just put over 365. That's normal. That's the number of days in a year. So that means if I should divide this over number of days, I'm getting the number of years this person has used. So as of today, the person is 55.6. Now let's apply this thing to all the data sets. So just click your arrow, go down to the a little box below the cell, double click on it. Now it has applied the function into the stuff by just clicking on this particular highlighting all this O column. I want to convert it to O number. What's happening? Okay, okay, that's not happening. Okay. Okay. I mean, you have corrected it. Now I can actually see, okay, this is how to get their age. I can see we have 56. As of today, this particular guy is 56. And when he actually start our job is 50. But as of today, the person is 56 years old. Now this is how to actually use this type of thing in real life. Now I can actually see this guy.
Excuse me. Get how you converted the ages to whole number.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me do it again. So what I did was I click on one cell, hold on Control Shift, then down arrow to highlight all the cell, then click on my under my own tab. There is something here which is decrease decimal. Then I decrease all the decimal into a whole number. Then it gives me a whole number. Do you understand, sir?
Yeah, thanks. I get it now.
Now, as of today, I already know that, okay, this particular guy is 56 years old. Now, let's say I want to do something like, okay, if you are more than 77, if you are more than 70 or 60, you should retire. You understand? With this thing, I can just apply my conditional format on this one that, okay, if you are more than 60, okay, I think that I will give you an assignment today. So this particular column, if you are more than 60, it should be in red. If you are lesser, if the person is lesser than 60, it should be in green. That means the person can still work at least for more years. But once the person is more than 60 years old, the person should retire. You understand? With this kind of that's how our data analysis work. Now we've gotten an insight. I already know, okay, who is actually supposed to retire, who are supposed to retire, who are supposed to remain in the company, in the company. So basically, that's how to apply to this. Now we also have another function. Tell me where this one. So we have noun. We can also call noun. Open the bracket, close the bracket. Now it is returning today's date and the exact time, which is 15:37. That is in 24 hours time. So we have different types of formulas. So I will not bore you down. So we are done with today now. Now date. It creates a date from a year, month, and date. That means if you actually want something like this, if you actually want to, but instead of using this date, you can actually convert any number using this date. So in a way, I would feel like using short date or long date. So in a way, we don't actually use dates, but you can actually use it doesn't mean. So we have concatenate. Oh, this one is very important. So yeah, let's do concatenate. Let's do concatenate. Concatenate is very important. Now, let me insert a new sheet. Now, I want you to, now, I want to use a function called concatenate. Now, before I can start any function, right, I have to start with equals to. Now, from the word concatenate means from the word concat, you mean like joining of two words together. Now, let's say we delete this full right? We delete this one. Now we now have two names, but we are given first name and last name. Now, as a data analyst, you are asked to actually find the full names of your employee, right? So you can use a function called concatenate by just typing con. Now we have concat, we have concatenate. Actually, concat and concatenate do the same thing, but in a way, a lot of people use concatenate for a reason, I don't know, but it's the same thing. Now we can see join several text strings into one text string. Now I want to use concatenate by just clicking my tab key. It will complete this function and open a bracket or a parenthesis. So now if what is text one? I want to join this one. Then after text one, I can see it is comma, text what? I want to join text two. Now close the bracket, hit enter. I can see Orion Bridge. Now, by applying this one, by moving your cursor to the box here, to the cell, you can see a little box inside the cell, and the cursor will change into a plus sign. By just double clicking on this cell, now it has applied the function into the whole data set. But in a way, this thing does not look good because after first name, there's supposed to be what do you call it? A space, but in a way, this Uriah does not have a space before bridge. So how do you actually do something like that? So you will go to your formula after concatenate. That means concatenate bit two. So after bit two, I want a space. So how do I want this? How can I write a space? You just open quotation mark, put a space, quotation mark. Now that will be text two. Then P2 will be text 3. Now apply this one. Now Uriah bid has changed. Now apply this same formula to this one and everything has changed. Now this is how to get full names. And there you go. There you have it. So you just single click, you've gotten your full names back by using a concat function. Do you understand before we move on? Oh good. Okay. Thank you. So that's concat. Now let's use what do you call it? Let's now let's how can I apply now let? Okay, let's apply now let. Yeah, I'm trying to actually do something where it will make sense. Okay, let me just use it. Test case doesn't matter. If we have Doctor, mm, right? So I want to actually return. If this is a data set, I actually want to return only sheet 2 without returning doctor. Now looking at this we have left means extract character from the left side of the text. Now we just do left. Okay, let me just explain it even more. Now I want to because it is too late. That means I want to return only this doctor, right? The title without the actual name. Let's say we have different type of title. We have the doctor, we have professor, we have what do you call it? Graduate, you understand? So we have different type of let me just write fixing. So this is actually physiotherapist, right? Fixiola, Fixiola, 10 years, What everyday use? I think I'll do for radiology. I don't know. I mean, the one, then we have how did I mean? Okay, I think it's okay. So now let's just use left, right? Left. That means let means that now what text do you want? I want to apply my left on this one. Now it's giving me number after this left. I can see a comma, then add your comma. Then the next thing is number character. How many numbers should you return? Now I want to return the first two letters. Now I'll just write close my bracket, and it is returning only doctor. Now if I should apply this formula now I can see it is returning only the first two letters. In a way, you actually use this thing. We will apply it in our tomorrow's project. In the project I have for us tomorrow, we'll be applying this doctor, this left function. So we can actually use now I can actually say, okay, in this particular school, I have one doctor, one PT, one radiology. It's as easy as that. Right? So we can actually use right function, right? Okay, right. Now I start my right, and Excel is not giving me any suggestion. Who can tell me what exactly what is my mistake? Please be very fast. There's not much time. Anybody who can spot my mistake?
Because there is no equal sign from the
Oh,
beginning.
thank you so much. Now, if I should just ask equals to now Excel is already suggesting right. So then I'll just add my right. That means return something from the right. Maybe I'll just write. I'll just want to return the last two letters from the right. So I just add my comma, add two or three. So I'm expecting CPU. For this one, I'm expecting Ola. From this one, I'm expecting AMI. So if I should apply this function to all the cells, and if you have Ola, then you have AMI. So it depends on, especially, it depends on when you are actually applying this one. And that's how we apply left, right, and then, alright. Need is the same thing too. When most of the case you don't use need. So this X lookup, index match, and the statistics will be for our sixth class. And I say we are supposed to do this one. So let's go to this one. Let's do some things we can do here. We have upper, lower, and proper. So let's apply this one. Like this. So we have upper, lower, upper. Now we have, let's say we have some data set like this. We have Ade, we have Lola, we have Kenny, we have Kike, we have GD, right? We have GD. Now to apply, you can see we have and we want to change these names. We want to change them into upper. What do they call it? Uppercase, right? So you can just call your upper UPP. Now, actually, Excel is already suggesting upper. Press your tab key, it open the stuff. Now, it's only saying, Excel is only asking for text. What text do you want to change to uppercase? I want to change this city to uppercase. Close your bracket, click enter key. Now, apply the function to all these data sets. Now, you can see we have 60, we have AD, we have dollar, we have 10, we have today. Now, if it is lower too, you put on lower, right? What is the text? I want it to be this one. Close your bracket, then apply it here. So I want to apply this function into all this array. Now we can have Situ, Ade, Lola, Kemi, and GD, everything in lowercase. What if I want it in sentence case? I want it to be Situ to start with S, capital letter S, Ade to start with A, to start with capital letter A, Lola to start with capital letter L, GD to start with capital letter J. So how do I do something like that? So there's something we call proper. That's proper case. Then by just running proper case, I want this sheet to close the bracket. So it's giving me sheet to there's no difference because sheet is already starting with upper case in its first letter. So but for what about Ade? If I apply this formula, this function to all this stuff, you can see J is now in capital letter, A is now in capital letter, and that's how we apply upper, lower, upper. Now let's say something about string and substitute. Yeah, substitute and string. I guess that's the thing we use, we use the most string and substitute, then we round up to this class. Yeah, you can always practice the rest, and that's why I wrote the note explicitly. It's so explanatory if you go through it. So, okay. Okay. So now, what do I want to do today? Substitute and string, abi? Okay. So now let's see. I want to write shifting. Right. I want to write shifting. I want to write formula. Okay. Now, this formula, this finger. Now, let's do something before you know the effect of authentication. Oh God. Before we can know the effect of this particular thing, so let's use this function. There's a function we call len, which is used to return the number of character here, number of character of this particular cell. Now I want to check what is the length here. Visually, I can see SHITTU is how many letters? Can someone just tell me? Anyone with me? SHITTU is what? Okay. Okay, it's
Six,
6 letters.
six.
Okay, so if I should click, because length is already it's only asking for text. If I should click on this one, then I close my bracket. But I can see 10. Why is it returning 10? Okay, what if I apply this formula to all this array? So I can see shift 2 is returning 6, that's correct. But for lab 2 is also returning 6, which is actually supposed to be 4. Then guy is returning 8, which is actually supposed to be 6. So what exactly is happening? So in a way, you can see there's some trailing spaces before shifting, right? There's some trailing spaces, leading spaces before shifting. And that's exactly, if I actually press a backspace there, can you see? Now if you change to 9, can you see? That means Excel counts all the spaces that has been here. That means this particular text is not well entered. So how can we actually remove all these leaving space, all these spaces, how can we remove them? And that is when we use trim. We use equal to trim. So this one, if you trim away all the spaces, that is not actually useful. So I just apply this one to the text because it's asking for only text. Close your bracket, enter. Now I've changed everything. Now let's calculate the length of this new one now. Equal to length, right? Press your control key, is asking for only text, close your bracket, right? So I can see it's now 6. Now if I should apply this one to everything, this is now 6, 6, 4, 6. Now that means this one is actually cleaner than this one. Do you understand? Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay. I guess we will actually stop here today. If you have any question, battery is running low, so there's no light here. Do you have any question? Oh, thank you so much. Do you have any question? Oh, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm so happy. I guess I have to log out now. Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone.